The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy Wally, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven.
And new intern, X-Bacon Gamin'.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
This is the end. Oh, hello. Daddy Wally here, and welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Not joining me as always is Chipotle Bear. Unfortunately, he is sick, so he could not make it tonight. We are recording old school rules with Zencastr. We are not live. I apologize to our live viewers. We wanted to keep up with that streaming schedule, but unfortunately, Jose controls all of it. So we need to plan better next time so we can do it.
Fail safe.
If anybody's sick. Also, we still don't know what's going on with Bubble Boy. Apparently, he's still in the darkness, even though we do know that Aaron Rodgers is officially a New York Jet now. So maybe, hopefully, we'll be hearing soon from Bubble Boy. But joining me, as always, the old reliable assistant. Intern to the assistant. Intern to the co-host. X-Bacon Gaming. How are you?
I'd like to take a second to congratulate you on your NFL draft that we're not participating in tonight because we traded all our picks away for good old Russ. So, yeah, it's been fun.
Don't we have picks just later on?
And then we traded we traded that pick to get a coach, so we have nothing going on tonight.
So first round, but
yeah,
further rounds.
I don't think we have second round either.
Oh, well, I'll take Sean Payton.
Hey.
Russell, I mean, I like him, but he had a bad year. Let's be real. But so tonight we are just going to have an old school Nerd Chat duos match here. And hopefully Bacon doesn't just go run off and get killed like he usually does. So Bacon, let's jump into some huge TNC shout-outs. First shout out goes to some YouTube subs. Again, we don't have the new overlay up. I do want to update. I think we have 126 subscribers. I do believe.
27.
Shout out. Oh, 127. Excellent. So shout out. Some of them that I saw were shout out to Zenimus, and I love the way this guy spelled it. He spelled it XEN space IMUS. I love the name. And Quidditch also for subscribing to us. I don't know why sometimes I see all of them, sometimes I don't, but shout out to those two guys for subbing to the channel. And also a huge TNC shout out to Katina Beverly 3903. She wrote on my ultimate setup video, cool gaming setup, dude, and a bunch of smiley faces. So thank you so much, Bacon. That video shows that I've got good taste in my layout. Still waiting on your gaming setup video.
I've been working on it, but I have big changes coming for my PC, so I want to do it after.
Good point. I also have an update already. I already have a new soundbar. I have, might as well talk about it right now. This is my new official headset, Bacon. I sent back the Bayo Play portal. The active noise canceling, I always felt like something was coming out of my left ear. Like it just never felt balanced. Good sound, good with music. But Bacon, these are better. This is the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7X for Xbox. I can also use this, Bacon, on my PC. I can also use this on my PS5.
Oh, wow.
It has a dongle that you plug into the back. The only bad thing is the dongle isn't just like a straight USB-A to USB-A. It's a USB-A, and then there's a cord to USB-C in this little thing.
Like splitter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it does have a switch on the back. You can switch from Xbox to PlayStation/PC, which is excellent. And these are more comfortable than the Bayo Play. And the sound, I feel like the directional sound is better. Music, I feel like there's a little bit more oomph in the bass on the Bayo Plays, but this is This is really good, Bacon. So I'm very impressed with this headset, and maybe I'll do something on there. I also like that the microphone is hidden in there and you can slide it on out right there. It also has a red light when you're muted, so I know when I'm muted. I'm really liking it, Bacon.
Does it allow 2 audio?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I forgot the one thing that Bacon wanted. That I can be playing my game and listening to my phone, a podcast, or answer the phone and do everything at the same time, Bacon.
That is a big miss from the Bio plays.
Yes. I like those. I definitely feel like they look and feel premium, but as far as sound goes, I think these are way better game audio. Maybe the music audio is better better on those other ones, but this is pretty dang like I'm impressed, Bacon, especially with the comfort. Because I remember the old one. You see how it has the little band right here?
Mm-hmm.
I remember I hated it on the old ones because it kind of like wrapped around and it never felt comfortable. As soon as I put these on, I was like, oh my gosh, Bacon, these are better.
I've always been a fan of SteelSeries.
I'm very, very impressed, and I'm very excited to continue using those. So shout out to SteelSeries. I think that's all the shout outs we have, Bacon. So let's jump into it.
Let's do it. Let's dance.
Let's jump into some Xbox news for the week, Bacon. News team, assemble. Wow, everybody's been talking about it. I really don't have much to say because I'm saving it all for Bacon. So I will go quick. News story number 1. I'm going to read Bobby Kotick's letter to Activision Blizzard. The CMA has officially voted to block the Microsoft Activision Blizzard King acquisition. When this happened, was that Wednesday?
Yes, that was Wednesday at 5 a.m. our time.
So this email was sent to our team Wednesday from Bobby Kotick, Activision Blizzard CEO. Team, today, the Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, a regulatory agency in the United Kingdom, decided not to approve our merger with Microsoft. This isn't the news we wanted, but it is far from the final word on this deal. Alongside Microsoft, we can and will contest this decision, and we've already begun the work to appeal to the UK Competition Appeals Tribunal. We're confident in our case because the facts are on our side. This deal is good for competition. The UK hopes to grow its leadership position in technology, and a combined Microsoft Activision would accomplish exactly that. At a time when the fields of machine learning and artificial intelligence are thriving, we know the UK market would benefit from a Microsoft's bench strength in both domains, as well as our ability to put those technologies to use immediately. By contrast, if the CMA's decision holds, it would stifle investment, competition, and job creation throughout the UK gaming industry. This merger is a complex process, and I know I'm not the only one frustrated by the hurdles and delays. We're accustomed to a company culture that moves quickly to accomplish big goals. So it's tough when we can't close things out at our usual energetic pace. We'll keep pressing our case because we know that this merger will benefit our employees, the broader UK tech force, and players around the world. I'm going to do everything I personally can do to advocate for us and help regulators understand the competitive dynamics in our industry. What gives me confidence is that whether or on our own or united with another company, we are one of the strongest companies in the industry, poised for continued growth and building on our incredible IP. I appreciate your continued hard work, focus, and for continuing to connect and engage our players around the world. This is the best time to be in our field, and you all represent the best of our industry. We'll be sure to keep you updated on next steps as they happen. With appreciation, Bobby. So for everyone out there, leading up to this announcement on Wednesday, Activision stock was up to $86 or $87. And then the day this was blocked, it dropped $11 to $76 a share. But Microsoft's continues to climb. It went from like 275, it was like a 305. I don't know what's going on with Microsoft after their earnings report. By the way, earnings for Microsoft, most things were down except for subscription services. That was up. Consoles down dramatically. Bad. Everyone's talked about that. We don't need to talk about that. Activision Blizzard killing it. Okay. So the CMA blocked this deal not because of concerns with console issues, but because of cloud gaming and how Microsoft would become the dominant force in cloud gaming, the new emerging market. Bacon, before I throw it to you, because you know I'm just so tired of this and I just wish it was over regardless. Here's the thing. I'm not a big Activision guy. I'm really not. I would I love to have Call of Duty and Diablo and future Activision Blizzard games and Game Pass? Absolutely. That would be a huge win for me as an Xbox player, a huge win for me as a consumer, because what incredible value that would bring to Game Pass. And yes, that would be great. But in general, if this doesn't pass, which it's looking more and more like it will not pass, I'd be fine. The status quo goes on, and Microsoft, then now they'll know what to do. Go buy 2K, go buy EA, go buy Capcom. I don't care. Do whatever. Spend more money, obviously, on your first party. And just, I'm more excited about Bethesda and all those acquisitions. Honestly, I'm so pumped about Bethesda games that I really don't care. But having said that, I know a lot of people want to see this through, and I do in general think that this would make Microsoft more competitive. Again, I do think this would make an incredible value to gamers. I don't care if you're on Xbox or not. You can't deny the value of Game Pass if you added Activision Blizzard. And lastly, and most important thing to Microsoft, this would make them a crap ton of money. And that's why they're willing to spend so much on it. And I can see why they're fighting tooth and nail to get this through. But having said all that, Bacon, at this point, I know you still have hope, and I know you think there's, and you know what, there's lots of time to see, but I have to say, this is the end, Bacon, because, okay, it's not technically the end, but here's what I'll say. It will be the end, Bacon, in May. If the EU doesn't pass this,
yes,
it's over.
That is a fair statement.
Judgment Day, and it will be bad. And I heard Cog and Mr. Matty Plays talking about this. That'll just be a horrible news right before their conference and the Xbox showcase. And it would suck. But at the same time, if the EU passes this, I think then you still have a chance. And then this will just continue on, and I'm going to have to keep talking about it. And I can't take it anymore because I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. But I just wanted to say, do I think it's a step closer to not going through? Absolutely. Like, this is a huge, huge blow. But I'm sure you're going to tell me why Microsoft still has a chance. But I just want to emphasize, if the EU votes to block this as well, it's a done deal. It's over. So Bacon,
that would be the death knell. That would
tell me why this still might go through.
Well, it seems like through this whole process, the EU has been the more level-headed of the two over there. The most frustrating thing is how, 8 or 9 countries have already approved this with 0 issues. Now you can
every other place,
right,
has approved this.
That one small island is going to be able to control the fate of the entire global economy when it comes to something like this is just absolutely baffling to me. They're not elected officials. They are a private company, and they can literally say who can't acquire an American company. Now, given King is based in the UK, but other than that, it is an American company. Activision is an American company, and these people can basically say what can and can't happen. Now, it was written in the contract that they do require approval from the CMA in the UK and the EU. So how Microsoft goes about this, they seem like they are still fully on board with this because there's a $3 billion penalty.
Fully on board until that EU decision.
That could be it. But from everything we're hearing is we also heard this about the CMA all last week, that they were leaning towards it. And in the 11th, 12th hour, they brought this cloud concern up. Seeing companies like
out of
NVIDIA,
nowhere.
Right. And NVIDIA come out today and said, wow, way to stop cloud gaming for everybody. The CMA, the one thing you're trying to protect, you're actively stopping from people having access to, because Activision is not going to allow their games to go in the cloud. They haven't done it yet. They want you to buy it off of Battle.net or off of Steam. And Microsoft is the only one that's offering this. They also came out and said that no way the Switch can run Call of Duty. Now, I agree, the current iteration of the Switch cannot run Call of Duty. But I'm sure the Switch 2 is coming with.
And what's to stop it from streaming? Like, yeah, it's not going to be that great, but you could absolutely stream the single player. Like, I've played Halo single player on my phone, and it's playable
games on there. And
yeah, they're streaming some games already as it is on the Switch.
Games. So it's just so frustrating that their reach can be so definite and just like. So there are ways. I've been listening to now Pactor's win percentage.
Yeah, dude, your boy Pactor. I'm sorry, I still think he's full of caca, and he's been wrong.
A lot of sound logic. He read through the whole document, basically said that the CMA has left them an out. And what that is, I'm sure as hell not going to sit down and read 400 pages of legalese to try to get to the bottom of this. So I rely on other people to interpret this, Hogan and all them. But and then, as you saw today, that Microsoft did their media blitz, and that Microsoft and Bobby basically came out and called them out on their bull. It's just, and I'm glad they're taking a more aggressive stance, because if you're going to continue to sit there and call Microsoft the bad guy and the end of everything that's good, and they're a terrible company, your entire government runs off Microsoft's platform. Everything you do, everything in this world is run off of Microsoft, because nobody runs anything off Mac that's like, government. So I'm really glad that Brad Smith came out today and said, hey, listen here, guys, we've been in your country for a real long time. You rely on our products, and you're basically calling us the devil at this point. I mean, I'm kind of glad. I'm glad Bobby Kotick came out and said that, this is where big tech goes to die. And there's pretty much no hope for the UK going forward. So there are outs. There's been a lot of talk about, some stuff Pactor's said before about basically creating an LLC there in the UK that handles everything independently and is not Microsoft, or they can pull completely out of there. That would be a big chunk of the pie. I don't know if they'd ever go that far, because Microsoft is the whole thing this whole time is we want to bring more games to more players. So completely shutting off access to the UK doesn't seem very logical. But and then again today, the Prime Minister's office, not the Prime Minister, not the Prime Minister to the CMA or the Prime Minister to the rail transit. The Prime Ministers came out today and said they are open to start talking about this situation with Microsoft, because though Microsoft holds a lot of cards, at the end of the day, this deal is too big to fail. Be a lot of egg on a lot of people's faces. So I believe there's going to be a way to work it out. Is it going to happen anytime? A time frame that we're all, hoping? Probably not. And then for the last thing, come to find out, the head of the CMA was in Washington, D.C. a week and a half ago dining with Miss Lena Khan. And then all of a sudden they block. It's just conspiracy hat time that Miss Lena is like, hey, if you block it, you'll make our job easier. I don't know. It's just super, super, super duper frustrating. I'm not even particularly a huge Activision fan myself. I am a Blizzard fan. I play on PC. Blizzard makes classic PC games for PC gamers. They have been basically dying under the hands of Activision, only producing their cash cow and their Overwatch and doing updates for World of Warcraft. StarCraft has been dead for so damn long, and it's such a popular game. That was my hope, is that, hey, we are going to make StarCraft. I'm going to put StarCraft on Xbox and give you Achievos, because I played through the campaign for the 12th time just to get Xbox achievements.
That's another thing where I didn't really mention. Not only is it good for like consumers, I think it would be good for Activision Blizzard Studios to be with Microsoft. I think we would see improvements to games and potential new games and working conditions. So I think obviously
what about
the employees would make a lot of money with this deal too. Like there's a lot. I think it's a win-win for everybody, especially because they haven't said we are going to make anything exclusive to Xbox,
right.
and they've said we're not going to do it for a long time, even if we chose to do so. So
then these employees are thinking about leaving, and then all of a sudden this little island can control everything, and these employees are like, do I have to stay with Activision? I love going. I've been to Europe twice. I freaking love it. It is such a cool place. But oh my God, are they stuck in like the
screwing us over? You know what? We bailed them out of World War II, so they need to bail us out of this Activision deal. I want to throw one more thing to you, Bacon, and then let's just move on. This is going to keep going, and we'll see again. If the EU says, unlike the CMA, we agree with everyone else in the world who has approved this and we vote to approve it, I think there's a chance. If it doesn't happen again, I think it's over, dude. And that sucks for a lot of reasons.
And then we fight the FTC in court and win that, and we're still waiting on the CMA, and they are literally the only ones.
No. You don't think, Bacon, I'm sorry. If the EU doesn't approve, it's over. So
yeah, no, I'm saying if the EU, that's fine.
Oh, if they approve. Yeah. Then at that point, I think the CMA we'd have to figure something out. Or you just do what your boy said, Pact or whatever. You just have another entity of Activision just for Britain, and then say, hey, you're not getting Call of Duty anymore, and see how long that lasts. Right. I wanted to throw this to you. This was a good point that I heard from Unlocked, and McCaffrey was talking about this. He was saying basically Xbox is being punished for
innovating.
Just leading the way in cloud gaming and doing good. So why are they being punished for doing something well and being prepared, unlike everybody else? And also, I want to say another point to you that I want you to answer. Is that fair, first of all? And then second of all, is it fair, and Cog brought this up with Mr. Maddie today, that is it fair that, okay, the CMA has all these concerns about cloud gaming, but they didn't give Microsoft any kind of, okay, tell us your concerns, and are there any like concessions or any agreements that we can reach upon so you don't have any more concerns? And how they didn't even give Microsoft the opportunity to answer these concerns, and then they just blocked it right away. So tell me your thoughts on those two things.
So they're completely correct that they are being punished for spending the billions and billions of dollars. The reason why you can't just run out and actively buy an Xbox Series X, because that silicone is going into the server blades for cloud. If they wanted to just be a console manufacturer and a software manufacturer, they could have just made 100 million Xbox Series X's and it wouldn't be an issue. But they take the silicone to put actual Xbox Series X's in the cloud. So a good portion of their productivity is going to that. They've been doing this for so long. Yes, they have Azure, but the amount of investment they've put into this market and this I don't even want to call it game, because I don't particularly use it. I just part of my Game Pass Ultimate. I do not cloud game. And the number of people who actually do cloud game. See, what happened here, now I'm thinking about it, is when they worked out their numbers for Microsoft's monopolization of the cloud industry, they took all Game Pass subscriber numbers and said, you have 30 million.
Yeah, exactly. How many of those people are actually using cloud gaming?
And it doesn't come unless you get Ultimate.
And I sparingly do that. And not only that, like, let's say there are 25 million Game Pass subscribers. That's 25 million of like how many 100 million people who have Xbox Live. Like, it's not even like a big portion of complete Xbox console sales and PC. I mean, it's a growing number. And to an extent, yes, Microsoft is in an excellent position and they are dominant in the cloud gaming, but like that, they shouldn't,
because they offer a great product. Unlike Stadia, they offer you a catalog of games. They're going to offer you games you already own when this finally comes out.
And
you
buy the game, and you can cloud saves.
Right. And so they offer a compelling product. All these games for this monthly, you're not paying for your access and then also paying for your games on top, or your subscription, whichever Ubisoft channel or whatever, the way that Stadia did. And I hear the tech behind Stadia was actually really good, and why Sony hasn't bought that to just use that, I don't know. but it's a substantially better product. That's why Phil Harrison, I think is his name, who's been the demise of
destroying everywhere he goes. Just a
yes,
wave
and
of
he's
destruction of
probably the reason
PlayStation,
why this because
Xbox,
you
and
know
now Stadia, now Xbox again. Just
what
gosh,
was it like the week after Xbox announced the acquisition of Bethesda, Stadia announced they were getting out of the game. Stadia would never had the stomach to compete in this arena. They saw an $6.7 billion acquisition of Bethesda, and they bowed out. That is their right. What's to say that they couldn't have bought Activision? And the biggest shit, sorry, excuse my French, the biggest problem with this is Activision came to Microsoft and asked Microsoft to buy them. Microsoft is not doing a hostile takeover of anything. They're not coming in and buying up shares left and right to get to the 50-50, then the 51. They asked to be acquired. They asked to be acquired because Bobby Kotick has spun himself such a web that he cannot get out of. They cannot force him out. He needs to be acquired so he can take his payday and leave. And that will put the Activision employees in such a better position. It'll put all that dormant IP that's sitting around collecting dust in the hands of people who want to do it. They will take Toys for Bob off of Call of Duty. Why is Toys for Bob a Call of Duty support developer? I will never know. And they will give these IP, and it is such a win-win for every person on this planet. So I'm hoping they see the error of their ways and this gets addressed, this gets fixed. I can no longer put all my energy into this topic. I'm going to move on.
Yeah, move on until May, man. We'll know then. What is it? End of May?
Right. So I'm 50-50. It goes through.
Bacon was 80-20, 60-40. Now he's down
dude,
to 50-50.
I woke up at 5 a.m. I could not sleep to get up Wednesday morning. And I got up to use the restroom.
I can't imagine how mad you were when you saw this. Oh,
I come back to bed. I pick up my phone and I see Florian Miller's tweet. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me with this.
Man.
I calmed back down and went back to bed for my last hour of sleep. I'm just like,
I'm surprised. I thought you've been so furious. Guys, the Activision Blizzard drama is just going to continue on and on. But like we both agree now, we think that if the EU says it's a no-go, it's going to be over. But hopefully between now and then, Microsoft, I don't even know if it's possible, can be like, hey, what do we need to show you some assurances that we're with your concerns with cloud? Maybe they show that. Maybe CMA is like, okay, we've been in discussion. We're leaning more towards getting a deal done. I don't know, Bacon. Either way, the show must go on.
Too big to fail.
No, absolutely not. Then let's go to news story number 2. Let's talk about the state of Xbox in general. And this was all these people freaking out before the rejection by the CMA. We heard about console numbers being down, and a lot of that Microsoft said is they just aren't simply, like Bacon said, producing enough Xboxes to sell, which, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a bad look, but at the same time, Microsoft is making a lot of money in subscription services. Their stock continues to rise today. I don't know why after their earnings call. So this was before that, and everyone saw, oh my gosh, Activision Microsoft hardware is down 30%. And this is an opinion piece by Jez Corden over at Windows Central. With Microsoft distracted, the Xbox console experience is suffering as Microsoft expands horizontally as the Xbox console being forgotten. And this also was tying in to the Redfall news. And basically, so after he heard all these numbers, Jez is basically arguing that the problem with the expansion is that it's largely horizontal rather than vertical. The Xbox console platform is not seeing serious growth, according to what little information we can get, as Microsoft commits more and more silicon to multi-purpose cloud servers instead of console stock levels. As Xbox sees its priorities elsewhere, Xbox fans are starting to feel left behind in a variety of ways. And then he talks about the state of Xbox and how, are they trying to do too much with going into the cloud, with growing PC, with not selling as many consoles, with Redfall launching at 60 FPS mode not being there. Minecraft Legends is just sitting at a 73 on Metacritic, which, I mean, that's not like a gigantic game. Let's be real. But I still appreciate the just the attempt for a more child-friendly Minecraft game. I don't think you should count that. Everyone seems to forget about how Hi-Fi Rush started the year, and how not only we got that bacon, we got Minecraft Legend, we got Wolong Fallen Dynasty, we're getting Redfall next week, we got Case of Benedict Fox, I'm playing Hollow Knight. Like, there's all these incredible games we're playing on Game Pass, but everyone wants to complain about Microsoft, okay? And then he complains about how it's a hack job to for him to set up native Xbox games on his Steam Deck. I feel that's a little unfair, Bacon. The Steam Deck was not designed for that. Sorry,
right,
Jez.
That's Valve's product.
Exactly. And the fact that you even got it working good, you have the option. Like, I kind of really strongly disagree where it's like, I shouldn't have to hack into this to make it work. And it's like, dude, the Asus ROG Ally is what you want, dude. Like,
right.
let's not, you shouldn't be complaining. That's not even a Microsoft product. That's yes. Valve's own thing that they created with their own operating system. Like, to complain that you can't play it there, the more I think about it, doesn't make any sense.
Valve is in the business of selling video games
and their own hardware now.
Now their own, yes. They're not in the business of giving you access to 300 Xbox Game Pass games. They did make it an open enough platform that you can,
if you want
do what you want with it. Yes,
and he did.
I tried it when I had my Steam Deck, and it was a terrible experience. But it's not Valve's job to make Game Pass,
and it's not Microsoft's job either. They say he also praises. I've seen him praise about how much he loves playing on the cloud on his phone. Well, dude, then stick with the phone. Like, if you can't get it to work on something else, like, what did you say in summary? So sorry, I want to read this sentence. It says, there's no singular major issue facing Xbox right now. It's more like a coalescence of smaller problems, leaving Xbox consumer feeling second rate. It's true that Xbox fans have been built up and let down so many times repeatedly in recent years. Microsoft can't afford to keep alienating its existing fans while it chases new ones with half-finished efforts like cloud gaming beta and PC Game Pass. That's the other thing. He complains about the PC Game Pass app being so bad. I haven't had a single issue installing my games, and I've been playing since 2020, since I got my laptop, have had zero issues installing a game on Game Pass onto my computer. And I don't like. Sorry, Jez. And then he says, here's his comments on the Steam Deck thing, or which, again, the more I think about it, doesn't make sense. Jez, they're giving you other ways to play. Console's solid, minus the Redfall thing. I'm still disappointed with that. The PC Game Pass, or the PC app, I agree, has been bad traditionally, but recently I've had zero issues, and Bacon hasn't either. In summary, the strategy of expanding to other platforms makes complete and total sense. It's even desirable, yes, but it shouldn't come at the cost of what's already there. I agree. It's exciting to see the glimpse of how this could work in the future. Syncing my save from the long dark between my Xbox and hack job Windows Steam Deck is awesome, but it shouldn't have to be a hack job. Why? I shouldn't have to become a network engineer to figure out how to get most out of my cloud gaming, and I shouldn't install first-party games from PC Game Pass and find them broken or unplayable versus the polished, enhanced, moddable Steam versions. That I can see an argument for. Again, I don't quite agree with him on hacking his Steam Deck to make it work, but I think he brings up some good points. Basically, is Microsoft spending too much time on everything else to grow their business and leaving the console market behind? Bacon. So let's hear your thoughts on this article and what some of the points Jez brings up. Again, he praises cloud game all the time, but it's like, that's why it's so good, Jez. If you like it, keep doing that. You can't expect that on your Steam Deck, which again gives you the option to, and if you can figure it out. So sorry, go ahead, Bacon.
So the Xbox is not the platform. Game Pass is the platform.
But I would argue, and I think Jez is arguing, Xbox is what got you here, and that is your bread and butter. And I think Xbox still is your primary consumer are console players. I do believe that's true, but you're right. In the future, Bacon, I think I'm shocked at the growth of PC. Like, when you see streamers, these guys aren't playing on consoles. They're all on PCs. Yes. And if they have a PlayStation, it's only because
They have to.
The exclusive game isn't there, or it's not going to be there right away. So sorry, go ahead. Yes,
I've
I
heard
see the future. I agree with you.
I've heard them say multiple times that they feel that the growth on console is at its peak.
It's been like that for what? 15 years, 10, 20
and then
years.
The last report we got that
we
the
don't
highest,
see growth in console.
Right. The growth has been in PC. The growth has been in PC Game
Mobile
the
gamers.
growth with Game Pass has come on the PC side. I want to say it was 300% or something like that on the last report we got last year. So the part of this comes with the anger that they've had that Flight Sim came to PC first. It's never been on console, mind you. Flight Sim has to be run on high-end hardware. They're complaining
the fact that we even
Tactics
have Flight
Yes.
Simulator on console is incredible. So sorry,
Gears
I don't care
Tactics launched on PC first, and then a year later came to console. It is an RTS. It is a point and click. That is a standard PC game with a mouse. It's super easy. They're talking about Age of Empires that got all the love on PC. Age of Empires really is a primary PC game. But I just pulled up my Game Pass app and downloaded The Last Case of Benedict Fox, right when we started the show, had zero problems. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 PC games installed from Game Pass on 4 different drives in my computer. I can look at each drive right now, and I've had zero issues with it. And I've heard him talk about that on the Xbox 2 all the time about how bad this app is. And every time I'm like shaking my head,
What's
I'm
up with
I've
this
had
computer?
no issues.
Yeah,
Right.
I have Hollow Knight,
He's on a
I have
laptop.
Forza, everything. I'm on a laptop. Everything connects. I'm gonna download. I should start downloading it right now. I've played Hi-Fi Rush on this. Zero issues.
And then I'm
unlocking achievements.
I have Jedi Fallen Order installed, and I have Battlefield 2042 installed in the Game Pass app. When I hit play, it sends me to the EA app and launches the game from the EA app. And there's zero issues there. I've heard him complain about this for a really long time on Xbox 2, and I've just never understood what his complaint is. Well, I mean, and people are mad because people are going to be mad that I'm going to be able to get well over 60 frames a second on Redfall on but I spent $5,000 on the thing that's sitting next to me. I should get as many frames as I want in Redfall. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
true.
And yes, their attention has been diverted with all this Activision Blizzard crap. Because
with trying to grow Game Pass on PC, and mobile, and cloud.
And when Square sold off Tomb Raider and Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal, if we weren't tied up in Activision Blizzard, you don't think we could have paid $300 million for that? What a steal.
Yeah.
Those studios and that IP was like 300 million. That's like pocket change for Microsoft. And we couldn't do it because we were tied up with Activision Blizzard. And I say
maybe
like
not in a month.
I'm in the boardroom and stuff. So yes, I see it, but there's such a narrow focus right now on the console only gamers that they can't see the forest through the trees sometimes.
Yeah.
As if PC Game Pass grows,
that's good for Xbox.
Console Game Pass grows.
Yeah.
They're funding games. It is the largest segment. PCs are everywhere. Consoles are not popular everywhere. I just literally, my buddy Brandon just finished
way more popular
in this last week alone. In this last week alone, my buddy Brandon finished his PC. It's up and running. My little brother got all his parts in and got his PC up and running. So I'm on an active, thriving PC community right now. So just relax,
I love my
guys.
laptop. I agree. Yes. And I agree. And let's continue this though. And another news story, number 3, this was, I don't know if it's news, but this ties into the whole, everyone just dogging Xbox right now. And then I love this tweet that Colt Eastwood did. Some of it, I don't know if I quite agree with, but basically he drew this graphic. Okay. And it says first party studios this generation, Xbox AAA games. He lists 13 games, which he has, let's see if any of these counts. Gears Tactics, Flight Simulator, Psychonauts 2, Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, As Dusk Falls, Grounded, Minecraft Legends, Deathloop, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Age of Empires 2, Ghostwire Tokyo. Okay. Some of those you can be like, but for the most part, I'll give it to him. The aggregate open critic score for those, 84.9%. Okay. Then PlayStation has 19 games. 6 of them are remasters, remakes. By the way, Xbox only had 1. 6 remaster remakes. That's pretty crazy. So take away 6, you're down to the same 13 games versus 12 on Xbox, which are not remakes. God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man Remastered, Astro's Playroom, the pack-in game. Demon Souls, I'll give you that. Destruction All-Stars, nobody's talking about that. Ghostwire remaster or Ghost of Tsushima Ultimate
Director's Cut.
Again, PS4 game. Returnal, PS5 game. Death Stranding, PS4 game. MLB The Show, baseball game available on all platforms. Microsoft Ratchet & Clank, that's a PS5 only. Horizon Forbidden West, cross-gen. Gran Turismo, is that only on PS5? I think it is. Uncharted, that's a collection of games. Last of Us, again, how many times are we going to release that? Sackboy, don't remember that one. Great Spider-Man, a cross-gen game. Horizon, that's a DLC. Call them Mountain, that's a VR game. MLB again on all platforms, MLB 22 and 23. Again. So, I mean, some of those, anyway, aggregate open critic is 83, so a percentage lower. And then confirmed games coming in 2023. We know for sure Xbox has Redfall. Here's what he has: Redfall, Starfield, Age of Empires 4, Forza Motorsport. He doesn't have Hi-Fi Rush on there, which I think should be on there. And
Hi-Fi Rush is in that first group. It's right there in the middle.
Oh, you're right. Hi-Fi Rush is on that other one. Okay, so that already came out, but still coming. All we know for first party from Sony, he has Spider-Man 2, and I didn't know Stellar Blade was a first party game. Is that first party or is that second? I don't know. But anyway, 2 games. Okay. And so on his tweet, he also says, overall, can you explain this to me? He has Xbox 17 is that AAA games that are coming out this year in 21 up to this point. Is that correct, Bacon?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, Bacon's counting. And then he says he follows
17 counting everything.
Okay. He says more information. Xbox needs more third-person, narrative-driven action-adventure games. I agree. The Xbox can do one of those because that's their one. I would say that's literally their only weakness when it comes to first-party games. Okay. And then he says PlayStation needs to rely less on remasters and remakes. Absolutely true. How many remastered remakes have we gotten, and how many are we going to get? Because apparently you need to remake Horizon for Zero Dawn. I don't know why. Oof. And then he says Nintendo first party since holiday 2020 is 80% aggregate score compared to PlayStation and Xbox and 12 games. And he said perception is crazy. And I couldn't agree more, Bacon. Like, we love to complain, and sometimes we're dogging on Xbox too, but realistically, they've done a decent job. 2022 was a miss. That yes. was not as far as big AAA games. No, but we are getting them this year. We got Hi-Fi Rush. I'm sorry, that absolutely counts. That's still my game of the year at this point. Over Resident Evil. I loved Resident Evil. It's still better than that. And we're getting Redfall. Who knows what Redfall is going to be, but at least it's going to be something different and a new IP. For the love of God, new IP. We're going to get Starfield, and we're going to get Forza Motorsport. We're going to talk more about that later, which looks phenomenal. We had Forza Horizon 5, which is an incredible game. Xbox just, again, we've said this before, cannot win. The perception of Xbox is just complain. I'm just getting tired of it. Like, I know you're fed up with PlayStation for other reasons, but like, I was looking back at my PS1, Bacon, and I have great memories of that console. Like, I was a diehard PlayStation fanboy, but they lost me with Xbox and Halo and the 360, like diverse games. PS4 brought me back a little bit, or PS3 with Uncharted. And then with PS4, I felt like I'm playing the same games. I'm playing those same third person. And I just
cutscenes, unskippable cutscenes.
Oh gosh, don't remind me
about story.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but not every time. So I just wanted to bring this up. Like, Bacon, is Xbox ever going to get out of this, or
not until they win a hardware battle 6 months in a row of it outselling? Will they ever give Xbox
never gonna happen.
Respect? I know, and that's the only time they'll ever get the respect, because all we see is these sales charts from Japan where Xbox sells 400 consoles.
Like 100.
Who cares?
Nobody's talking about that Game Pass being up, that subscription services being up.
It's just like ridiculous.
The incredible value we got. But in general, what did anything stand out to you, I guess, from the stats that
Colt, when you look at it and you truly look at this list, and yes, there are a ton of remasters on here, and remakes and remasters.
And MLB The Shows, which are great. Don't get me wrong; those are the best baseball games ever made. But
come on. The production value in those games is awesome. But
yeah,
I mean, Astro's Playroom was awesome, but it was like a 2-hour experience and you're done. You're just like, wee, I deleted it right off my hard drive because I'm like, I don't want it taking up space on my 600 gigs. Spider-Man was great. Ratchet and Clank in this generation. I loved Ratchet and Clank. I'm loving Returnal.
yeah, but Spider-Man again, that's a cross-gen game.
Right. God of War is a kind of a letdown for me, but for other reasons. But
still good production value, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just
but not
it
for
was
me.
It was too much of the same. It was 2018 felt it like there was no big changes for me. I know the game is loved and renowned, but it just wasn't for me. I still haven't even come close to finishing that
speaking
game.
to that, Bacon, let me ask you this, because I saw you were in that Paris space, and I wanted to ask him a question. I had my hand raised, but I was at the gym and I was driving home, and I was like, "This is not going to be a good, to talk to." So I had to end it because I was actually picking up the kids right when it was probably getting close to me. I remember there's one guy who said, "Why would anyone buy an Xbox at this point?" And I was just like, "Over a PC," and I was like, "Are you an effing idiot?" First of all, not everybody wants to build their own PC. Second of all, not everybody wants to spend at least the cost of an Xbox Series X to get even close to the performance that a Series X offers you. And third of all, what do people want? Something that's plug and play. So why would people want Xbox? Because they want to play games easily and not have to worry about building a freaking PC, and consoles still sell. I was so mad about that. And then someone brought up like, "Oh, well, people don't buy games on Xbox." And that's what I wanted to ask Paris, and I'll ask you along with the state of Xbox. Bacon, where did this narrative start that people don't buy games on Xbox? And I want to, this is what I was going to say to Paris is like, yes, maybe people don't buy first party games on Xbox because they're on Game Pass. Yes, absolutely. That makes sense. I have not purchased a first party Xbox game because I am subscribed to Game Pass and it comes there day and date. But to say that I don't buy games on Xbox is ridiculous. Bacon, this year, I have played Hi-Fi Rush. I'm going to play Redfall. I've played Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I'm going to play Benedict Fox. I'm playing Hollow Knight. Incredible games on my Game Pass subscription. There were 5 games. Let's say I spent $40 a game on that, $200. Instead of spending that $200 on games, I was able to buy the Resident Evil 4, whatever the Step Up edition was. I purchased Jedi Fallen or Survivor. I paid for that full price. I'm not going to play it until July because I got to make decisions. And I will be buying Diablo 4. Those are 3 games, $70 a piece, $210 that I was able to buy, that I did buy, that are not coming out on Game Pass. I think people need to realize, yes, we are not buying first party games because they're in Game Pass, but that doesn't mean I'm not buying games that are not in Game Pass or that are third party or that are big releases. Like I'm so sick of this narrative that people don't buy games on Xbox. So Bacon, I ask you, why do people say that Xbox players don't buy games?
I think that comes from, Square Enix always skipping our platform. And I think that they're using that as a reason.
Because I've purchased Square Enix games and I bought my brother Final Fantasies so it's not like I'm not spending money on Final Fantasy. And I would totally buy that Pixel remaster if it came to Xbox. And I think it's insane for anyone to be like, "Oh, well," like Colin, I hate when he says, he's like, "Oh, well, it's just obvious. The Square doesn't want to release it there because Xbox players don't buy games like that." That's completely false. People have purchased Persona. People have purchased that crappy Final Fantasy game that just came out that everyone said was terrible. Crisis Core. People have purchased other Final Fantasy games. I see the ratings and reviews. They're high numbers on Final Fantasy, the classic games. People buy games. I hate that. It cannot possibly be that low to where people aren't buying these games that Square Enix can't port it over. I refuse to believe that.
We as a group who participate in Twitter, me, you, and Chapeau, we see it. We see the discourse. When you talk to anyone else who is just a casual gamer, you'll never hear that stupidity come out of their mouth. It's just ammo for the console wars. It's PlayStation dudes trying to flex, trying to show how cool they are. I had one of my trainees who has, I had a couple weeks ago, who has both an Xbox and a PS5, and he was unaware of the Activision Blizzard merger. That is how under a rock this dude is living. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like the normies have no idea. So the normies don't say Xbox people don't buy games. When you think about how many players have played Forza Horizon,
Oh,
didn't
over
they say
20
it's
million.
over 20
over 20
million?
million. Yeah, I've seen the leaderboards.
And then they'll say, like one of my guys I listen to every week, Mooch, well, 20 million people came in, downloaded it, and pressed A, and then got out.
Did they also say remember when it was over 1 million people before the even game came out that I was a part of because I bought the DLC stuff?
Access, yeah.
But I didn't buy the game, but I'm still buying something on Xbox. And I also want to point out, everyone's like, oh, everyone just waits for it to be on Game Pass. Game Pass is only 25 million people at best. We're assuming. You're telling me the other millions of people, how many Xbox Ones were sold around? We'll say 60. Okay. And we'll say how many Series X's at maybe
20,
I don't know.
25, maybe.
So exactly. So not even half of total we're just saying just console players are Xbox Game Pass subscribers. So all these people, we're just all here waiting. We're not buying other games. Jose's not buying Dead Space. You're not buying Jedi. You're not buying other, like it makes me so mad when people are like, people on Xbox just don't buy games. Go ahead.
Why would I buy an Xbox first party game? Because everyone says support the developer, support Microsoft. I pay $15 a month. I have been paying full price for my Game Pass subscription.
Yeah, I have
for
it.
the last 2.5 years. I've been a full price payer every month. I have no issue with that expense.
Yeah.
I pay it. I don't question it. My wife doesn't question it. So why would I in turn turn around? I've bought multiple seasons for Halo.
Yeah, exactly. I bought season passes.
Both expansions for
Elden Ring.
Both expansions for Vampire Survivor. The only 2 games I haven't played in this list are Pentiment and As Dusk Falls. Neither of them have any. I don't have any desire to play those. And then on their little list here, I'm not sure if Colt realized it, but I played that. What is that? Oh, Death Stranding. I played Death Stranding on PC Game Pass also, so you can take that one off the list. Wasn't a great game, but I did play it. So it just comes down to the little bubble that we live in. This small group on Twitter, the vocal minority that want nothing more than to see Xbox fail. They continue to push this narrative, and whenever Phil has a tweet, they come on and say something stupid about not having any games, and it's just their little bubble they live in. They feel like they're a big man because they can open their mouth. I know there's a saying about open your mouth and removing all doubt about, I can't remember. There's an old saying about stupidity
good saying
in this
there.
world. Good. Something like that. But if people weren't buying games, Xbox would not still
they
be
wouldn't
here.
be around.
Satya wouldn't be sitting there going, we'll just
we need to invest
year,
more.
You know? Let's keep going. Let's give it $80 billion.
I just basically what I wanted to get from this is perception is everything, and people seem to think that Xbox is just crash and burn. I heard people like again in that room, like the guy was like, I think Xbox just needs to pull out, and what's the point? Why are they even doing this? I'm just like, are you an idiot? Like I could say that he's like, I haven't turned my Xbox on for a year, and I'm like, dude, I haven't played my PS5 and I couldn't tell you. The last game I played on that was Elden Ring, guys. So I'm not exactly going. My PS5 is sitting there collecting dust as we speak. So I'm the complete opposite.
You saw my chats in the nerd chat that I am dead set on selling.
You're not
going to
sell it. You're not. You're
right
yet.
Because there's a small hope that Spider-Man 2 comes out this year.
It is,
and I will play that date. Come on.
I'm not as hyped about.
Have we seen any gameplay?
Spider-Man. It's coming out.
I love Spider-Man. We'll see. We'll see if it comes out.
Good, but I think Sunset Overdrive is better. I think
that's the only.
I think Batman Arkham City is way better, and you haven't played that, so shame.
That's the only thing that's keeping this PlayStation sitting next to me with my. I guarantee you, there's not a lot of people that have more money invested in their PlayStation 5 than I do.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
only excited.
Well over $1,000 in sitting next to me, and I don't own PSVR. And I have over $1,000 of PlayStation crap sitting next to me. So when all these guys just call you an Xbot, it's ridiculous because I guarantee you that half of them are sitting around with just the digital, like, oh, one controller.
Yeah, no, a majority of PlayStation owners, I guarantee, are like my wife's cousin. He has a PS5 and he just plays Madden NBA,
Madden, yeah,
and
and Call
golf,
of
and
Duty,
Call of
and
Duty, and
and
that's it.
FIFA,
And that's exactly
because
that
that's
is
why their
that is the
attach rate is
majority of
10%.
people who play on PlayStation are just casual gamers who play those games. They don't even know about some of the exclusives. They think Hogwarts Legacy is an exclusive to PlayStation, and they don't. And that's why exclusives only sell to maybe 15% of your player base. So anyway, we don't need to talk about that anymore. I'm done.
Nope, done.
Let's move on to news story number 4. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is releasing August 25th, 2023. This is coming from Software, Bandai Namco, Entertainment of America. There's a trailer. And it just says Augmented Human C4-621 has awakened. Get ready for us. To me, it looks like some mech combat.
Mech Warrior.
And that's what I thought of immediately. Interesting though, Bacon. If you I looked up Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon on YouTube. The trailer for Bandai Namco, 561,000 views. IGN 206. Xbox and PlayStation each have it on their channel. How many views do you think Xbox has?
Million at least.
Nope. 32,000 views. How much do you think PlayStation has on their channel?
I don't even want to know.
416,000. Isn't that crazy? So who's
They
got the
probably
marketing rights to this one?
Yeah, they probably assume it's a timed exclusive.
PlayStation only exclusive. Anyway, Bacon, any reaction to the trailer? I think it looks cool, but I'm not like, man, I gotta play it. I think I need to play Demon Souls and Sekiro first, and Bloodborne before I jump into this. Will you be getting this?
I think the mistake would be is it would play anything like any of those games.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you want to play those games just because you're a huge Souls simp. But I have never played an Armored Core, but it looks a lot like Mech Warrior.
See, and I was never big into Mech Warrior, and that's why this
my
isn't
brother
quite
is
talking to
huge
me.
into that game.
You know, looks cool. I
mean,
know.
I assume I'll play it. Depends on that's going to be right before Starfield.
Exactly. So that's literally like the week before Starfield. Sorry, Armored Core. I'm all aboard the Starfield train.
I'll catch that on a sale, but
exactly. I'm gonna wait to see reviews. Wait till it's on sale. I did just want to bring it up. Like again, I've never been big into mech stuff. Alan Pack Attack, he's big into Mech War. He was big into Exo Squad, big into stuff like that. So I don't. Maybe he'll grab this, but I'll wait and see. But it is from Software, so I feel like
they don't miss.
Exactly. So maybe I'll check it out down the road, but that is coming August. But again, right before Starfield. So sorry, I gotta wait for that. I've been waiting too long for Starfield. Next news story number 5, Bacon.
I think so.
Forza Horizon 5 has a new DLC, a free one, break speed records with high performance, and Forza Horizon 5. The latest Forza Horizon 5 series update is all about high performance. That means fast cars, a new and permanent race oval, and the opportunity to set speed records and returning PR stunts. So we're getting a high performance mode in Forza Horizon. There's also been a bunch of updates. I just want to quickly just say that and tie that into another news story. The most accessible Forza Motorsport ever.
So cool.
Accessibility consultant Super Blind Man shares how he masters hairpin turns using blind driving assistance. And this is coming from Xbox's Twitter. And this is about the accessibility options for Forza Motorsport. And this also linked to a video on YouTube, which is 7 minutes long. It's called Forza Motorsport Blind Driving Assists. Forza Motorsport is Turn 10 Studios' most accessible game ever. Check out one of the game's new accessibility feature sets, Blind Driving Assists, which was built for players who are blind or have low vision. Accessibility consultant Brandon Cole demos and discusses how he utilizes the supplemental audio cues to navigate the tracks of Forza Motorsport. And Naya Chintala, gameplay and accessibility producer, and Todd Helsley, senior sound supervisor, discuss how Turn 10 Studios brought all of this to life. Bacon, you love to see it. Bringing accessibility options is an amazing thing, and how they incorporate sound is very cool. Watch the video, guys, because it basically gives you certain sound cues on when you're approaching a turn, which way you should turn. how fast you should be going and stuff like that. And so he's driving around and he's blind and he's driving around the racetrack, which is pretty dang amazing. So they can tell me, let's have some positivity on Xbox here. Again, something that, other race games, I don't think I've seen this in any other racing game, and Forza's again leading the way like they always do. Nobody's going to be, bragging about this awesome work that Xbox is doing and making games more accessible for more people. Bacon, isn't this cool? Talk to me about this.
It is incredibly cool because that's one thing I never even imagined would be a thing. If you are blind, one of the things you got to give up is driving, golf, and video games. And the fact that they are making, and how good of an experience it's going to be, I don't know. But the fact that they even put the time and the energy and the effort into doing something like this. And one of the first things I ever brought up when I guested on this show was how much I love that Xbox did the adaptive controller. That Xbox is giving people with disabilities, war injuries, anybody who can't physically hold a controller, and now PlayStation has finally made a controller to go with it, like 5 years after. So how could this ever be a bad thing? I'm sure someone will find a way to pick apart the achievements that are easily given to people that are playing in blind mode, because it's just, how could this ever not be just an absolute win to give people who are blind an opportunity to play a race game? It is absolutely fantastic. And yes, you're right. It will not get any of the pub needs. Maybe it'll win most accessible game at the Video Game Awards, because I can't imagine it won't. Because if you're giving blind people a chance to play a racing game, you are going to win that award. That's just all there is to it. So good on Xbox, and good on Turn 10, good on everybody involved in this. Kudos. Good job, guys.
Absolutely. Shout out to Xbox. Shout out to this incredible feature and accessibility. Hopefully we'll see it in a lot more games than maybe Horizon, but Horizon's tough because you're just going all over the place. But shout out to Turn 10, to Forza Motorsport, to Xbox for an amazing accessibility option and a positive for the Xbox community. And last quick news story of the week. This is news story number, that was 6. This is number 7, I think. The leak, Bacon, here it is. Price for the Asus ROG Ally will cost $699 with the AMD Z1 Extreme chip, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 512 gigabyte SSD, costing just $51 more than the 512 gigabyte Steam Deck. This is coming from The Verge, who saw it from Snoopy Tech, who tweeted this out. Bacon, do I just need to use, instead of buying that PC, instead of buying a new gaming laptop, do I just need to, I've got $300 in eBay bucks. Do I just bring this price down to what, $400 and get this incredible ROG Ally?
No, the answer is you sell all your consoles, you get a gaming PC, and you get this to complement that.
I need a Chivos.
This is a day one purchase for me,
oh
my friend.
My gosh.
I thought this was going to be close to $1,000. This price point is right. I paid for a Steam Deck. I paid for I paid for the $540 Steam Deck, and this thing will stomp that thing.
Get rid of it. Sell. Yeah, you already sold it, right?
Oh yeah, I scalped that and made money on a used version of the Steam Deck. It was a cool platform. I just didn't like the fact that it was Proton based and Linux based, and the workarounds that Jez was talking about.
Yeah, Jez, this is the device for you, buddy.
Oh no, Jez already knows this is the device for him. And the fact they've given away 3 months of Game Pass with the purchase of this, that's going to save me $45. And and to have native games downloaded on this with expandable hard drives, full Windows version of this is absolutely.
Yeah, you can upgrade the SSD.
Yes,
which is cool. Yes. But I mean, you were saying that you can just use a micro SD and just
I
don't care about loading, so whatever.
The funny thing is, I had Windows when I had my Steam Deck loaded on a micro SD, and that's what I was booting from, and it ran perfectly fine off of micro SD. So this thing here will absolutely dominate the industry, to the point where, I mean, and that's the thing is, with this, I can still have my entire Steam library because it's Windows based. Native Xbox app. I can have Ubisoft Connect. I can have EA
of
Play
your
Pro,
Blizzard,
all of
can't
it.
you?
Yes, yes, yes,
So,
yes, yes.
very quickly tying into this, everyone, I hear a lot of people be like, "Well, why is it Microsoft making their own hardware?" Well,
Why do they
again,
need
I
to?
just don't see what is the point. Like,
Right?
why you're gonna lose money on the hardware, correct? Like, I'm sure they're not gonna. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is gonna make Asus money. Probably will actually, because why else would they
They'll
sell it?
probably have
Because
partnerships.
they're not gonna get a portion of those game sales.
Right. It'll
So,
be part. I mean, Asus has on software for your PC, they have a storefront where you can buy discounted games. I could have got Cyberpunk off there and a couple other new releases. So there
yeah, but
will
that's
be
not,
people that will default to buying games on that, but for the most part, no. So are they getting a kick from Microsoft? Are they getting a kick from Steam for having this? I got to assume somehow that that's where their money's going to be made on this at that price point. There has to be partnerships. I know Xbox head of mobile gaming was at this
shout out
event.
to
Right.
Lords of Gaming.
Yeah.
And Tom Warren retweeting the tweet. I thought that was super cool about having the Microsoft person there.
I will take this thing to work and I take it on planes.
I don't know about that battery life. I'm still it's probably not going to be very good.
Well, that Z1 chip apparently is very energy efficient.
That's my thing. Is if the battery life is decent, I probably would get this over a new laptop, because at that point I'm like, well, why wouldn't I just get I could have got that dang G14 for $700, and so it's like,
I don't think this thing would ever, short of being able to hook up an external GPU to this and then dock and dongles. And I mean, you could turn this in just because of the processor in this, you could turn this into a desktop, but it seems like it would be a lot of work. And then you're paying $1,000 for that Asus 4090 to go with it. I could never see this ever replacing my desktop, because just looking at
I'm
it
just
right
saying,
now,
for
I'm
me,
in
like,
love with it.
why would I buy this over a good gaming laptop? And
I fully agree with you there.
It comes down to the battery for me.
You're still going to be able to send emails and watch Netflix, anything you want on this. So why would you?
Oh, that's
because then with your laptop, you're going to also have to carry an Xbox controller. You have to put it in a backpack. There's so much. Here's your controller in your hand.
We don't know how good this controller is going to be. It looks good, and I'm glad it got the back paddles
Linus
built
said it was
in.
good.
That's incredible. Like, every controller, dude. That's okay. Here, idea. This not even an idea. This has to be standard. The next Xbox console or controller revision has to have paddles built in. If what is it? The cheap knockoff one that I see on Amazon. What is it? Whoever, I can't remember. The one I bought. Paul, shout out to Lieutenant Dan. If they can have a little button, just buttons on the back. Exactly. Every standard controller from now on needs to give you 2 buttons on the back. Just one on the right, one on the left. That would take it to another level. The series controller to another level. Why haven't they done that? The more I think about it, Bacon.
This is a Turtle Beach Stealth Recon, and I'm using this to play through Jedi
Power
Fallen Order again. And I actually mapped the RB for the parry on this, because I have trouble always taking my fingers off the triggers to get to RB. So I just mapped RB to there, and then the dodge button to here. So I'm always on the stick. I agree. Every controller should.
Dude, think about that. Why haven't they done that? That they could easily put just a button, like you said, on the back of a standard controller on each side. That would take it to a whole nother level. Like, and I think if they made it standard, they would see how many people who aren't using paddles would be like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer. So Xbox, free idea for you. The next series, you need to have standard back buttons on their controllers. That would be huge. Right. But it must be something to do with the vibration. And this has a they should be able to do it.
Vibration, yeah.
Anyway, let's close. That's enough Xbox news. Let's talk about what we've been playing this week, Bacon. Give me your impressions. I saw you last night. Actually, I'll go quickly. I've just been playing Hollow Knight. I've already sent you stats. Bacon already knows. The game just goes on, and I'm trying to do the 112%. So I've been watching some videos and stuff, but basically here are my stats, you guys. Hollow Knight, good game. I actually had a fun boss battle last time. Very satisfying to beat this. I'll send a clip out in this like circus tent. It was a cool battle, and it reminded me a little bit of Cuphead. That's the kind of vibes I was getting with this boss fight. But my stats are, Bacon asked me earlier, I've played for about 21 hours. I have 32 of 63 achievements. Okay, so I've gotten basically half of the achievements, and my gamer score is at 255 on this game.
A lot of work.
Caca achievements. Developers, if you do the main game, just beating the game by itself, that should get you like 500 gamer score. A little bit of challenges in there, 750. And some specific, harder, more rewarding, or just do everything to 1,000. We got to work on the achievement list. I think it's a horrible list. And is it affecting my overall score of the game? No. In general, I think Hollow Knight is a good game, but I do not think it's the best Metroidvania. I don't understand everyone's obsession with it. I've talked about this before. Ori and the Blind Forest absolutely destroys it. Super Metroid destroys it. Cuphead destroys it. I think it is a good game, but I am so ready to move on, Bacon. But at this point, I'm like, all right, well, I didn't think it was going to take me to Redfall. It's basically taken me to Redfall. I'm going to go into Redfall. I hope I love Redfall. I hope it's a great game. And then I'll probably try to get into Ghostwire after that and then into Diablo 4. So, Bacon, I kind of mentioned earlier, I know I saw you on it last night, I believe. Tell me your early impressions of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. No spoilers. Again, I'm not going to get into this until July. Biggest question number one, is the map really fixed or is it still complete crap?
Oh, sir, you didn't pay close enough attention because I fired up Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, you weren't playing
PC.
I was going to say, because is it even out yet?
Yeah, I don't even know if it unlocks at 10 tonight.
I
hope it does.
Okay.
But I was sitting around, thinking of something to play, and I'm like, I would like to get back into the feel.
I thought maybe you had like early access because you've got that EA crap. So I don't know.
No,
whoops.
So I fired it up to hopefully get a feel for it, so I can start it on the second hardest difficulty. I don't know why I'm a masochist.
I'm gonna do it on normal. I don't know why you would do that, unless there's an achievement.
But the fact, and I've been playing that at 138 frames, which is the max frame rate for my monitor, and it is such a different feel. Such a different feel than it felt on Xbox when and I loved it on Xbox.
Well, did you play it on 60 on Xbox? Because I played it on 60 and it was pretty good.
It was good. I mean, so what am I, about 4 hours into that? No intentions of finishing it on PC, just of course, just to get a feel. I have now 20 hours and 38 minutes in Minecraft Legends, and I cannot explain why. At this point, I have 9 achievos for 220 score.
I mean, better than me.
The game has basically run its course with me. It's a lot of samey, the same kind of battles, just varying enemies and a varying attack angles. It's a good game for kids, or a good game for people that are trying to get into RTSs for the first time. So good on Microsoft for greenlighting this and allowing Mojang or whoever the support studio is that made it. It's a pretty good game. It's just not for a hardcore RTS guy like I consider myself, but definitely worth a play if you've got nothing going on. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 2042 also, since EA Play Pro gave me the season pass and everything else.
Someone was talking. Who was it?
It's good.
I think it was Cognito again, saying how much they're enjoying it. I was already a fan when they improved it. I think Battlefield is good. I'll have to get back into it eventually. I've only played a little bit since they switched back to classes, which it still felt like before. Dude, Battlefield's always a good time. The Rush and Conquest, they're just cool game modes.
So much chaos. It's just chaos. From a little bit more into my hard run on Dead Space on PC as well. I'm, that EA Play Pro for $100 is such a stupid value. It's not even funny right now. PGA Tour 23, I've been playing that also. So I've been spending so much time on the EA app. It's absurd at this point. But tonight I will start Benedict Fox, because I don't, unless Star Wars starts at 10 tonight, I will be playing.
I think that's what I'll try to do too, Bacon, is if I can beat Hollow Knight soon, like within the next few days. I'm praying. I don't even know. I probably won't. I forgot. That's another one that needs to be on my list. Dang it.
No.
I've also been playing some Warzone, played with Bacon, got a couple of dubs.
Yeah, we did.
It's fine.
It's
I enjoy
the same.
I enjoy the fast-paced battle royale action. I'm all about the Ashik Island and the Resurgence. I know Bacon hates it, but that's the only way I can play battle royales now. I can't do those slow games where nothing is happening. I like being able to get back in. You're right. It's more like multiplayer, but I get to come back.
when
No,
we
we
were
didn't. No, we
switching
didn't.
every
No, we
other
didn't. I
game the
hate
other
that
night, we
emoji.
had a great flow. It was an
Fake
even
no.
Steven. No one got left out, Wally. Be a part of the team because Mike and I enjoy the big map.
I did that for you guys. Otherwise, I
We
wouldn't
tolerate the
have,
small map for you.
have done that. Dude, if they would cut that map in half and speed up the circles, it'd be better. But the reason, again, I like Resurgence is because you get to come back. You're always in the action. Yes, you can come back technically in the big map, but someone's got to buy you, and it's just too big of a
it's
map.
Resurgence on the big map. What we were playing the other night.
Yes, it's crap. It's not worth it. Anyway.
Oh my God.
24-hour shipment is, by the way, the only way I can play multiplayer in that game. Like otherwise, the other times I'm doing it, I feel like I'm losing brain cells. At least in shipment, I'm getting progress on my weapons and guns. Like that's the only reason I do it.
I got teabagged in Halo the other night. If that makes you feel better,
dude, I love Halo. I'm excited for their new maps. Still solid, great time. Bacon, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. Go ahead, Bacon.
On the way home today, knowing that my wife was out at a Jason Sedaris thing, book signing in downtown tonight with her family, I got a double quarter pounder with cheese meal, large fry, no soda, of course, just water for this guy. No, I didn't get bacon.
What?
It takes forever. Like I had to go, when you pull up to
hey,
pay,
can you pull up and wait for a minute?
They pull up into what number one just for a double quarter pounder,
for you?
right? I'm just like, really, guys? So then you feel like the outcast as everyone's driving around you with their kids' meals and stuff.
Go get one right now.
Yeah. So if I were to ask for bacon at this point at my McDonald's, I'd probably still be there waiting. So it's probably a good thing I didn't. But just loving that double quarter pounder with cheese. There's nothing better, my friend. And I know you had one too, and you can tell me how good your double quarter pounder with cheese was.
I thought I talked about it last week.
I think did you talk about it last week or was
I think
it
I did. Anyway, guys, I got another one, and they're incredible. And Bacon's right. I underestimate McDonald's. I used to think their burgers are just fine. That quarter pounder with cheese and bacon is phenomenal. But we don't need to talk about that bacon. The best food. I had a great week. Jose, I'm going to need you to add 3 breakfast burritos to the list. Post if you're listening to this. And also, I got 3 for the family. So we got 6 total. Does that count towards our list, Jose, or is it just the 3 that I ate? So just
I think it does because you're supporting a local business. So
okay. And then Olive Garden, we got Olive Garden takeout the other night. It was phenomenal bacon. It was so good. I was like blown away. Like Olive Garden's good, but this time I was like, for takeout, I was like, this is one of the best takeout experiences I've had. Chicken carbonara with shrimp. Incredible. It's the best dish they have there. Had my zuppa toscana, and I like bacon. Like I said, I just felt so satisfied. Everything was on point, and also get the 5 cheese ziti for the kids, and they didn't eat much of it. So of course I'm stuffing down some of that as well. So shout out to Olive Garden. But bacon, the best food I had this week was Allie's patented chicken kebabs with veggies and another side. I couldn't remember what the other side was, but she makes it. She like makes this random sauce that she puts the chicken in, and what is it where you soak it in it beforehand for a little bit? What's that called?
Marinate.
Marinate it. Yeah, I couldn't think of marinate. She does that a little bit before, and man, it was so freaking good, bacon. So shout out Allie. That was the best food I had this week. Bacon, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 104. We got through all of the Activision, ABK, Microsoft drama. We talked about the state of Xbox. We talked about some games we're playing and the best food we had this week. My name is Daddy D Wally. You can follow me at Daddy D Wally across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat across all social media, or the Nerd Chat podcast at gmail.com if you would like to write in. Sorry we cannot make this a live episode. We will prepare better, so if one of us is missing, that we can do this alone next time. So we will be back recording live Thursday nights at 7:30 Mountain, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern on youtube.tv/ the Nerd Chat podcast, I believe is what it is. Bacon, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, continuing the console wars. Even though I'm a PC guy, I still can't wrap my head around it. Want to thank everyone for any comments in our video here. It sucked not having the chat, but I will definitely get a down and dirty stream set up for if this happens again. I'm concerned about Chapeau because we haven't heard from him since he canceled. Not sure if he's still alive.
He responded to a couple of other texts.
I'm
Anyway,
concerned.
Jose's sick, you guys. It's
I'm
probably Rona
concerned.
round 3. As always, CMA lovers, see you online.
I'll try to do the see you online. See you online. Was that a good Cortana? No.
Oh, I forgot about the outro. Do you have a video clip?
No. The Nerd Chat podcast is a
All right.
podcast created by Daniel Linzik. You can follow him.
All right, you don't need to do that. I can add that postscript. I don't know why you're doing that, but all right. See you online. The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. The show was created by Daniel Walensik, and you can follow him at Daddy Diwali across all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_bear. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. The intern to the assistant to the co-hosts is Jason Jarrett, and you can follow him at XBaconGaming. You can also follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. And if you'd like to find out more about the show, visit nerdchatmedia.com.